This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
We'll get into funding for education. It is one that we'll look into. We'll tell you who our guest is. I told you who he was before, but we'll introduce him again. But Dennis has goodies for us.
Oh, yes. This is the last call. Today, you need to know that, learning has changed. So the classroom isn't just a building anymore. Your home can be a classroom. Your office can actually be a classroom. And it's right in your living room for most times, especially when you go back home. Now, with Safaricom Home Fiber, every online lesson is crystal clear. Every research paper is instantly accessible. And every e-library is just a click away. It's the stable, high-speed internet connection that then ensures you, or even your child or children, can always be on time, enjoy class, and never left behind. So Safaricom Home Fiber is making limitless education a reality for every family. Now, today, like I said, it's the last call. You will enjoy 25% discount on all packages. This is only for new customers, and you get the route is free. The installation also is free. And additionally, if you already have this and you are wondering, okay, it's end month, how am I going to pay for this? So you've had your savings, you've got your bonga points and all that. All you need to do is dial *126# or visit my Safaricom app to redeem. And for the new customers who are going to buy this today, again, getting connected today, all you have to do is dial *400# or visit, again, my Safaricom app to get connected.
To get connected, visit the app, do it today. More goodies coming your way. Thanks for that, Dennis. As we get into a conversation this morning, we're looking into, what's happening at HELB, and the CEO is here himself to let us know a little bit more about that. Jeffrey Monari is the CEO of HELB, which is the Higher Education Loans Board, and he joins us in the Situation Room this morning. Good morning, Bwana Monari.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
You were very hopeful the last time we had a conversation with you, and you said, things are looking up and they're going to get better. And so we're going to have that scorecard today, isn't it? And look at how things have improved or not over time, and then what folks can look forward to. Before we do that, Dennis has taken us to Comoros this week, and he'll tell you where that is and what do they do? What do they do there?
So we are in a Comoros, and it is a country. When you look at its nature and geography, it has an active volcanic region, right? And the famous Kosalanth, a rare ancient fish once thought extinct, is actually in this country. So if you want to have a piece of that fish, you just need to go to Comoros, right? Because they're also big in terms of tourism and agriculture, including fishing, is what pushes the economy, including the remittances from majority of the citizens who are outside the country, and the remittances that they send back home continues to push the country forward. Let's go to the proverb. A man without culture is like a zebra without stripes. A man without a culture is like a zebra without stripes. How would you interpret that?
Oh, wow. That's a very good one. I think to me it looks like somebody who has no home is somebody. This is like somebody who is homeless, because without a strong culture, then you have no home to go back to. You have no support for yourself and your kin. Yes. So culture is strong and should be kept so that you can be able to support your thoughts, your beliefs. Yes.
Something that gets you grounded and continuity of what has always been there. Interesting.
Indeed.
Interesting.
Very interesting. So obviously going to be talking about HELB issues and funding for university. And as we start this conversation, I'm going to start with two individuals, Dennis Kiplagat and Mildred Arata. They're online this morning, and they've joined our live stream for this program. And the thing that they're both saying, which from what we are also seeing is the case, is that they have not received, and they will not be able to get funds for attending one TVET and another in university through HELB. They will not be able to do that in this semester. And we can start off with the question in terms of why would that be the case, that there would be some students who looked for this assistance, may have received it before, but are not going to get it now. And I'm using those two as point of contact.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked because to date, we have been able to pay 21 billion to students. And this money has already gone to students for first semester. And out of
they're actually
this,
talking about second semester, to be clear.
second semester is starting next in January. Therefore, we have not reached there yet.
There, yes, yeah.
For this semester, we have paid 18 billion for university students, and we have paid 462,441 students. For TVET, we have paid 3 billion to 118,986. For second semester, we will be able to pay them because the government has released to us 18 billion. The difference to reach 21, we have been able to raise using the loan recoveries that we get on a monthly basis.
Right.
Because every month we do get money from past beneficiaries. Those specific cases, I would want to look at them individually and let them tag me online, and I'll be able to answer them if they have issues. I have no problem.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah.
Dennis Kiplagat and Mildred Orata, the issues that you speak about, Mr. Monari has said very clearly that funds have been paid out. There's a little bit that they're looking for to sort out from recoveries, and that if we're talking about 2024-2025 second semester, then perhaps you need to see him or speak to him directly. So because he should be able to answer that issue, because if we're looking at second semester 2024-2025, that should have already been paid.
Yes, that should have been paid.
And if it wasn't, then there's a problem.
Yeah, we will look at the special cases. There are few cases that were not paid, but we are working towards that. Because remember, we are giving a loan. We have to be sure, first of all, the student is in class. We have to be sure that the details we have are matching. So there is a lot of due diligence we do. Because sometimes we do send money and we have to get that money back again from the institution so that we can be able to, because the student did not report, for example, or the student's name was not in the list previously. So we are being very, very, extremely, very careful.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So, of course, this allows us to segue into this conversation in terms of, what the situation is. In terms of looking for funding, are we saying that everybody who applies to HELB, because we know that it's an auxiliary financial service towards what you may have, it's not, I don't know, and maybe you can tell us that, will HELB then be able to cover everything that you must do at the TVET level and also at the university level in terms of all you need? Will you be able to get a loan from HELB today that will cover your tuition, that will cover your housing and accommodation and all of these other things, and then be able to pay it back after the number of years that you were in school? Is that the situation? Is that the model?
No, you can't get everything. It depends on your level of need. The most needy students are able to be covered fully. They only pay 5% of the cost of the program, which can also be paid using the upkeep loan they get of 60,000. However, the less needed to use that because we don't have, we removed the banding system. Then can be able to supplement to pay their fees and their accommodation from the household. That is the model we have, because what we are doing is to elevate students who are whose families cannot be able to support them in the university to a higher level so that they can be equal to the ones who can be able to pay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. There's a TVET issue that is now popping up. Folks are asking why TVETs are being left behind in all of this. And the people who applied 3 months ago, they've even put their batch numbers here. And I don't know if I should, say that out loud. But they've put their batch numbers here. They've applied up to 3 months ago. They've not been responded to. And it would appear as though there is a problem with addressing those who are in TVETs when it comes to getting their disbursements.
As I said, we have paid TVET 3 billion to date. We still have some space to cover for TVET, and I acknowledge that fact. Is because TVET is not like the university. They are still opening, they are still reporting. We are gathering that information. We have processed all TVETs for continuing students. We have not processed for first years. Okay. We are in that process. And once we finish that, we'll be able to pay these students. Yes. But for universities, we have been able to clear that.
So, Monari, we look at HELB as a facility that is supposed to make it easier for students to access education. And payment of the same is equally important so that you pass it over to those who are joining. But there is always the aspect of I need to start paying after I've gotten a job, but maybe 2, 3, 10 years later, I don't have a job, I'm unable to pay. I mean, many would say I'm unable to just pay because it's in a job. How do you balance that on the I want to pay, but I don't have a job, but I've been listed?
We have 3 categories of students, former students, who really want to pay. Number 1, there's a category that you've just described. I have no means. I want to pay. That is one category. We have another category where we have students who have means to pay, don't want to pay. The third category is students who have means to pay but don't know how to pay. Our biggest concern is the second 2 categories. For the first category that you said, a student who has stayed 10 years, and we want to look at, we have even done studies, we were supported by the British Council. It takes an average of 5 years for a student to get meaningful employment if they are looking for employment. However, even in those 5 years, you'll find that they are getting some income, which may not, they may be underemployed. There may be several instances where they are not able to repay. However, anyone who has stayed 10 years, we say and we advise them to come and tell us that they are not able to pay. And for us to list you, and you are interested in getting a facility, it means you have an income.
So what are you saying essentially here? That by the time somebody has been listed, right? Essentially, this is a blacklisting that happens to you.
Yes, with a CRB, for example.
By the time you've been blacklisted, that there has been the back end work and the due diligence has been done, and you've confirmed that this person is earning an income. Is that what you're saying?
No. What I'm saying is this: you have not repaid your loan.
Yes.
After a certain period of time. We have confirmed that you are not repaying your loan. Is then when you are listed. However, what I'm saying is this: for you to want to access a facility, you cannot just walk into a bank to ask for a loan. It means you have been having consistent income.
No.
Yes.
HELB has blacklisted people on CRB.
Yes.
For having not paid a loan.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What does that have to do with anything else that they are doing? It's just HELB who has listed this person, isn't it?
Yes.
Based on the fact that they have not paid.
Yes.
What if they've not paid because they don't have income? It's possible to list somebody and be the only one who has listed them on that list, isn't it?
Yeah, it is possible.
Exactly. So it could just be HELB that has listed me, isn't it? So how do I pay you back if I had no income? Is the question here.
My argument is this: if you are listed and you have no income, you will not even know you are listed, because the only way you know you are listed is because you go to a bank or a SACCO to get a facility.
Not necessarily. There are people who go to find out, maybe I could be listed by this thing that you're saying today. It's not a necessity. It's not necessarily that I went to the CRB to check if I was listed in order to get a loan. Maybe I went to check if I was listed.
Yeah, but if you are listed and you have no income, that listing will not have any impact.
It doesn't make it okay, though.
Yes.
It doesn't make it okay. This is what we're saying. That just because I don't need a facility, and you've listed me and I don't have a job, doesn't mean that, okay, then it doesn't matter. It matters. It does matter.
But how does it matter? Because it doesn't affect you.
A negative listing doesn't affect you?
It doesn't affect you at that point, because if you want to be removed from that listing, just talk to us. We will be able to remove you from the listing so that you can start paying.
So you've not actually verified that this person has an ability to pay?
No,
what you've done is that you've put them on the list, and if they come and they find out that they're on the list later, what you're saying to them is, because you've come to check, that meant that you were trying to get a loan somewhere else. And if you were trying to get a loan somewhere else, that means that you have a job. These things are not mutually exclusive.
No, you don't have to have a job. You don't have to have a job. There
you
are
have
many
some
Kenyans.
kind of income.
Yes, there are many Kenyans who don't have a job. And that is where we're having the biggest challenge, because there are many who are in the gig economy. There are many who are doing freelance jobs. There are many who are doing businesses, and they don't disclose. And even others who are farmers.
Can you list somebody, and let's look at what the law says, whether it's moral or legal. Can you list somebody who doesn't have an income? Can you list them on a CRB who doesn't have an income? Can you do that?
The issue is not listing somebody who doesn't have an income. The issue
but this is what is happening, and I'm asking.
No.
Can you do that?
The issue is not listing somebody who doesn't have it. If you can prove you have no income,
you'll take me off the list?
Yes.
So why'd you do it in the first place without confirming whether this person has an income or not?
We use all available means to confirm. But as I said,
what
there are
means,
people...
I'm sorry, Mr. Monari.
Yes.
What means do you use to verify whether this person has an income or not for you to then be able to list them? What means are these? We
use various stakeholders. We use KRA because that is under the law. The Act of 2006 mandates us to check. We check whether you have an income. And various other stakeholders who I cannot reveal because of data protection. So we go through and check whether you have an income. And if you have an income, then we are able to contact you. Before even you are listed, remember we have written to you 3 times for you to respond. The first letter is to tell you that your loan is overdue, the grace period is over. Can you contact us and tell us what you are actually now doing? The person doesn't respond. Second request, the person doesn't respond. Third request, the person doesn't respond. Then we have to go further and check and find out whether you are actually in any gainful income. If we don't find that, that is when there's a process for listing. We don't just wake up and list somebody.
Okay, so can we confirm, Mr. Monari, that anybody who has a HELB loan today, who has been listed and because of that precludes them from doing other things, can we confirm that these individuals have been approached by HELB at least 3 times? It's been confirmed through the stakeholders that you mentioned that they have an income.
Yes.
And that they have then refused or have not been able to then get in touch with HELB, and that is why they have been listed. You can confirm that everybody on the list falls into this category.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, and I can tell you the people we have listed, the about 64,000 have held our loans for the last 20 years and above. 20 years and above. They are holding 8 billion Kenya shillings. And if you can tell me for the last 20 years, you have never received any income at all. And you are still in Kenya, you wake up every day, you have a family, then I think that is a very serious matter.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. 20 years. Those are the people I'm talking about. These are not people who graduated last year. We are talking about people who graduated over 20 years is the year 2000, even before
2021 actually.
Even before
2001 actually.
When Moi was president of Kenya. That is when these people graduated. And they in our country, they have never paid anything towards their loan repayment. Yes.
Yeah, so Monari, let's look at HELB as is, and assuming I am unable to pay, right? Is there room for me to come to you? Let's discuss. This is where I find myself. As much as, say, I'm unable to pay according to, say, the rates that HELB has set, is there room for negotiation to say, I'm unable to pay the amount you want me to pay, but this is the much I can give you to be able to clear my debt? Is there room for negotiation so that Kenyans understand that even when it is difficult, we can still have a conversation and deal with the matter? Because many fear what HELB has said, that is it.
That's a very good question. We do set, and we especially if you are working, we do set a repayment rate. Currently, we have gone to about 10% of your income. However, we do negotiate with clients. If you're employed, you bring your payslip, and we can be able to look at the payslip and see whether you can be able to accommodate this and what minimum can you be able to pay. If you are self-employed, we take even as little as 500 shillings every month. We are working so that we can have an automated way with the telcos so that from let's say your M-Pesa or Airtel money, that can be deducted. Because the problem of when you are paying the small amounts, remembering every month may be a challenge.
Right.
Yes.
Is HELB a right?
It is not a right.
It's a HELB loan. I shouldn't say HELB.
Yes.
Is the HELB loan a right?
It is not.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can apply and be denied.
Yes,
this
you
money.
can apply and be denied.
What are the circumstances under which you would not be approved for a HELB loan? And is everything that you apply for then given to you in terms of a loan?
Let me give you the context. Before 2022-23, we used to deny students HELB. But from 2023-24 financial year to date, the last 3 years, we have not denied any student money who has applied on time. What we have done is to vary the amount that you are given, which means the ones who require more are given more. We are currently not denying anyone. Yes.
Bonari, there's a question that has just been asked here, because you said before a loan is given, there are background checks that you undertake. So a student must report to school. They must be continuing students. But what happens to a student who, because of one challenge or the other, deferred classes to say the following year, and because you are doing the background check, they're not in the system, they did not report to school, not because they did not want to, but because of one reason or the other? How do you go about that if they are in need of help?
Universities are expected to submit a list of the students who have reported. And that's why I said we do that background check. Where students defer, they also inform us so that money is left there in abeyance until the student is ready to report to school. So the money is not sent to the school, it is held with us. And if it was sent, we recall it. So there are two actions here that may take place. If they had confirmed and the student reported but left, then that money is recalled. If the student has not reported, then that money is not sent. What will happen is that we shall hold that money until the student reports. And when they report, then we shall release their funds to the university.
Are there instances where that information has not been shared to you, monies have been sent, and you do not have you've not recalled that money, it's been spent?
Yeah, it does happen. If the university doesn't confirm that the student did not report. But we have auditors who go periodically to the universities to verify the information that was forwarded, and are these students, did they report? So our auditors visit the universities once a year. They do data verification process, and where they find that students who reported or did not report or are not in class, then that money is recalled. So there is a verification process.
Are there instances where a student has found themselves, I did not report, I did not get the money, but I'm being forced to pay for monies I never spent?
No.
Such cases have never come up?
There are errors, as I said, that would have happened previously, and that's why we've put in place these measures to really verify. But once a student does an application, because we can't send money without the university confirming, so we have to confirm with the university. If the student does not report, then we will recall that money. Yes.
Okay. So you had mentioned that the banding had been removed.
Yes.
Just confirm to us again what that was. This was the one for least developing, approaching development. Is that where we were going? So was all of that
band 1 to 5?
Right.
Yes.
Which okay.
Yes.
Which are the ones? Sorry, let me allow you. Yeah.
Yes, band 1 was the ones who needed the money most, because I'm really avoiding to use certain words which then demean households.
Absolutely.
Yes. And then band 5 are the ones who would maybe be able to support themselves more. So we have removed the bands because the students and the stakeholders, the parents said they were not desirable. So what we have is a scaling sort of funding process where each student scores based on the means testing instrument, and the score that you get gives you a certain amount of money.
So what am I trying to score for a particular amount?
You are scoring, we are the ones who score. You know,
that's what I'm saying. So there's a score that I'm trying to achieve. If I want 50,000 shillings, for example, on a loan that I'm applying for, and I've got to fill this thing, and I apply for 50,000, what are the elements that you're asking for?
No, the approach is not what you want.
Okay.
It is what the score gives you, so that we can give you the...
Commensurate to the score?
Yes, to the score.
Okay.
Because everyone will want the full loan.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
But because of unavailable funds, we have to be able to give the available funds based on what is there for them.
So if you've removed the banding,
yes, what
have you replaced it with to now secure this information, which allows you to know how much money you're giving?
No, we are using the MTI, that is a means testing instrument, and we score you. The maximum score is 100.
Yeah, but what are you scoring me on? What are you asking me, for example, for me to then be able to say, yes, I can afford to, eat twice a day, 3 times a day? That's different from that banding.
We look at your family income.
Okay.
We look at the schools you attended. We look at... are there any chronic diseases in the family? We look at are there disabilities in the family? And once we look at this, the schools you attended, primary and secondary, were you sponsored? If you were sponsored, those are the issues we look at. The composition of your family. Do you come from, are you an orphan? Are you from a single parent? Are you from, are all your parents there? Are they employed? Where are they employed? Once we do that, then you get a score. Okay. You would get anything from 0 to 100.
Okay.
So it means if we are the 4 of us, we will score different scores. So it means all of us will get a different amount of money, depending on the score that we have there, because all of us will not be equal.
Has that means ever been flawed, in the sense that, assuming I come from this family, I'm an orphan, but because I'm a smart kid, I got scholarship. So I went to some of the best schools there are. But according to your means testing, you're looking at the schools that I went to. That means at the end of the result, on the other end, that would be flawed, because you're basing that off a single unit that might throw the result off. Or doesn't that matter? You go further to look at family history and all that.
Fantastic. And that is a question we get every day. If you went to the best schools and you are a bright kid and you are sponsored, what you only need to upload is that sponsorship letter. And we confirm, if, for example, Equity Bank, which supports many students in this Republic, or KCB or Cooperative Bank, if you upload that sponsorship, we confirm, we have written to them, they give us a list, and you'll be able to get your full sponsorship. The challenge we got the last 2 years, we found online there were people who were misleading students, saying that if you disclose that you are sponsored, then it means HELB will say that you already have a sponsor and will not support you. So many students were withholding these letters. And who didn't know? So what is required is that you have full disclosure. And that will be able to give you the intended score that you are required to get, and you'll be sponsored.
Yeah, because there does exist misinformation and disinformation on matters to do with what needs to be disclosed, what doesn't need to be disclosed. As you've said, there are also others online who are misleading others. What is HELB doing to ensure that everyone who needs this facility is able to know what information to share, is able to communicate with HELB, so that no one is left out simply because they thought they were being smart trying to beat the system?
Number one, we are engaging various stakeholders. We have held meetings with schools, school heads, to sensitize them that when the students are in Form 4, like now exams are about to begin, they should be sensitized so that they give the correct information. Our online social media, if a student is following, they'll be able to access that information. Last year, we were able to get in touch with the former provincial administration, the Ngao, so that they could be able to sensitize these students. A program like this is very good because many Kenyans are listening, and one thing I would urge them is that they should not listen to people who have no proper information. We have got Huduma centers across the country. We do go for Huduma Mashinani functions. We also work with the MPs who have got functions where they have called students and they invite us. We go there and talk to them. We are able to go across the country to sensitize these students. So it is a program that is ongoing. We want to work with the curriculum developers so that the HELB issue is embedded in the curriculum so that the students learn about HELB when they're in high school. So that is our next project, so that they can be able to know what HELB is about, which loans we give, and how these loans are given.
Okay.
So we have a very elaborate communication strategy which we are working on.
Okay. So people want to kill us, right? And we want to go home today
Yes.
alive.
Yes.
And now that you're here, there are certain batch numbers that are being put out here. And it seems to be contrary to what you had mentioned earlier. They applied in March, we're in September, right? We're going into October tomorrow. These batches specifically, 6463, 6439, 6464, 6393. Those are the ones that keep showing up.
No, but I said there are badges that we have not paid. I didn't say that there are badges that we have not paid.
I understand.
Yes.
But you can understand we've been talking for 41 minutes now.
Yes.
And they've been reappearing. So they seem to be frustrated and they want to be able to understand when this money will be paid.
The money will be released once. I want to assure them that the money will be released. For the 2024-2025, towards the end, there was a process that we are going through so that that money can be able to be released. And I assure them we are aware of those, and those batches, because out of what we call transparency, they are on their timelines. Yes, they can see that these batches are holding your money, and that money will be released.
Oh, so they can see that there is a hold and that it's on the process, kind of like a tracking thing.
Yes,
you can track and see where you are.
If a student goes to their student portal, they access when we initiate the process, which batch number, and when the payment is done. Yes.
You know, there's a question that has been asked here in terms of there are students who want to join school, right? But the institution is asking them to first pay before they can access education. But they are equally depending on HELB to pay before they can access. But HELB needs to confirm all these other things that they reported to class and what needs to be done. But they have been denied an opportunity to access the school because they have not paid. How do you reconcile that? How do you deal with that problem?
I'll want to see that specific case because we have got what we call an institutional portal. When we process the loans, all the institutions, be it a university or a TVET college, can access how much a student has been given. They have got rights, specific officers to download that information so that the only amount they're asking the student, because this is government that is going to pay, is the amount that the difference between the scholarship and loan that they have been given, that is the only amount they're supposed to pay. So it means there are two things here. The only way a university or a TVET college can deny you is, first of all, they have not checked the institutional portal, so they don't know. And if they know, you have not paid your fees balance. However, what I know, and this year it has been, there is no university that has sent away a student because they have not paid. They have actually been accommodating them. All students have reported, and what is happening is that verification process is ongoing. And we appreciate the support the universities have given us as we ensure that we pay for these students. So it is a process. If a student is in school, they need to check and ask the institution to check on the institutional portal
Okay.
whether their names are there.
So if you see something on your portal, on the portal that says fully disbursed,
Yes.
but you've not received the funds yet, what would that mean?
That one we have to check, because there are two things. If a student told us that we pay through M-Pesa, for example, you are supposed to activate that payment by dialing *642#.
Okay.
Some students receive a message that is fully disbursed and wait for the money in their M-Pesa without activating. So there's another process.
Okay.
Number two, students who are receiving their money in the bank, if you leave your account dormant for more than 6 months, for example, if you got your money last year in December and the next disbursement is in September, that is 9 months. Banks close your account or is frozen after 6 months. So that means when we send that money, it will bounce and come back. So you need to go and open your account again. So these are some of the things that students need to pay close attention to and see that the actual problem, where is the actual problem? Not to sit and wait. And we have offices in Huduma centers. Students can go there. Our online social media are there so that we can be able to clarify individual cases that we have an issue with.
I'm curious to know, do we still have cases where there was a time when students couldn't access loans because their parents were defaulters, and so it required parents to fully commit to pay before now the children can access HELB loans? Is it still happening?
No. What we have done, these are two distinct individuals. We have separated that so that this person is earning their loan because they're over 18 and they deserve to get that loan as well. But what we do is that it also gives us a new avenue to know the new contacts of the parents and all that so that we can follow through. But we will not deny a student based on the fact
parents
that,
defaulting.
Yes.
So, still talking about defaulting, the blacklisted students, how low is the figure for then a student to be blacklisted?
For a student to be blacklisted, it means you have never paid any amount. And this can be as low as, I'm looking at 80,000 shillings, because that is the lowest amount we have.
80,000?
80,000 shillings, plus interest that it has been earning.
Ile 500 ilitolewa.
500...
There was a time, there was a complaint that even as low as 500 shillings in some cases, which was again an argument that it was too excessive, then you again blocked from accessing.
No, we cleaned up all that data.
Okay.
We have done a clean. That's why we have only 64,000.
Okay.
However, we are planning to list another 109,000 students by the end of this month.
Oh, wow.
After verification.
That's today.
Yes, we will do that because we have done another verification and seen that we need to push. I want to put this in context.
Okay.
Last year, we collected 52 billion.
In loans, payback.
Okay. We were able to fund 49,000 students in universities and 114,000 students. So every coin that HELB can be able to collect goes back to the current students. And that is why we are under that pressure to ensure that the ones who can be able to pay are also be able to contribute. Because if you don't pay and you are able to pay, then it means the current student will not get any money. To date, we have been able to collect 32 billion from the past students, cumulatively. Out of the 195 billion shillings that we have given to students since inception, 32 billion is from past beneficiaries.
Okay.
So it means if we do not recover this money, there is a significant number of students who would not have accessed higher education. So we need to tie those two. This money doesn't, the current money we are giving and the struggles that we have to be able to raise the current means that people must pay what they were given previously. And that's where the disconnect is. That many of us want to be funded, but when it comes to repayment, then it becomes a problem.
I hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's talk about the allocation by the exchequer, the government, pretty much. Yeah, how much of that has been disbursed to you so far?
This year we have received 18.2 billion
Out of
40.
Out of 40.
wow, okay.
Yes.
And as we talk about the disbursement by Treasury to HELB, the delays that do exist, how does that affect your operations, and how do we fix that?
You see, we are supposed to get, and I must thank the Treasury this year. Universities have 2 semesters, except a few that have 3 semesters. Therefore, we are supposed to get that money in those 2 tranches. So for this year, they have already given us the 18 billion, and then we add what we get from the loan recoveries. And that's why I said to date we have been able to pay 21 billion, which means our own source 3 billion has gone in to the current students from our own source, that is the past beneficiaries. And we are on track. We continue pursuing for more funds, and we must all agree that there is no Treasury doesn't keep this money. It is also money they get from taxes. So, and there are many competing. There are roads that require the money, healthcare requires, basic education requires. So we are all putting our case forward so that we can be able to get the funds so that we can release to the students.
So a few, I think this was last year but one, the Auditor General, I don't have the latest figures, you correct me if I'm wrong. There was a period where there was a controversy around how much money that counties then were signing deals with HELB. And then it ended up that whatever money that the county will then say this is how much we actually signed the deal with HELB is not actually it's not the actual figure that eventually the Auditor General found. How is this working with you in terms of HELB then signing deals with counties to receive money so that this money can then be disbursed to students of particular counties?
Yes, we have 47 other partners, not only counties. Currently, we have 3 counties that we are working with. That is Kakamega, Busia, Taita Taveta, because we had given earlier, they had given us money earlier, and various constituencies where MPs have given us money. We also have other partners, for example, J&J. We have money from KMTC for their students and various. So for the monies that we receive, we account all the monies to the last coin, because that money comes. We look at the first point of distribution is to look at how much have we given them as HELB, because we don't deny them their HELB portion. And then after that, we add them based on what the county has given us. And we have a joint team that works together. We run the means testing. We show them that this is the amount of money that they were given by HELB. The difference these families have is this amount. This is what we propose. That list is sent back to the counties or the constituencies. They have a team there that verifies that these people come from the actual families and the award is legitimate. And then we receive that list and the money, and then we distribute. So every monies that we have received, we have been able to account for that money, because that query was not on us. It was maybe on various counties. But for the monies that we have received, we continue accounting for that money. And we encourage many other counties where there are counties that it's not even about need. It's about a certain skill that they believe they want in that county. For example, when Kakamega County started, they wanted oncologists. So they wanted to support students who will go for masters in that area. So it doesn't, when it comes to counties, it doesn't have to be based on need. You can look at, do we have this skill in our county? If you require data scientists, you can be able to support them based on what your requirement is. And that will go a long way to be able to have that skill in your county. And these people don't have to work there. They can work elsewhere, but you will have raised the standards of living, because one person sponsored in a household means you have helped a full generation.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. The concern that I had, that the case I was referring to was actually Baringo. And the concern at the time was, okay, is there a concern that there are people who will then try to use this HELB facility where they will disburse their money, but what they're saying they've disbursed in that query from the Auditor General, it was 2.2 million, that then could not be accounted for. So on paper, we've actually given HELB to help now disburse this money to our students in our county, but it is this much, 9.2 million. But then out of the 9.2, and this is not your problem.
Yes,
this is
yes.
but is it a concern that you will then get into a situation where there are counties or entities that will then use the means to send this money so that this money can go back, but as conduit for corruption?
We have an MOU, and the MOU will clearly stipulate the amount of money that we are to receive. If that happens, then it's something that we have no control over. Yes.
Okay, we're in the spirit of restructuring and reforming. There are conversations around changing HELB and reforming it to National Skills and Education Financing Authority. Where are we with that?
That process is ongoing. I know that the process is now being moved to the Attorney General's office, so that after that it can go to Cabinet and then Parliament. So the process is ongoing. Yes.
Okay.
For a very long time, you look at the funding for education in the country, and you look at different quarters, each doing the same thing. So you look at the president has his own bursaries of some sort. You look at a governor, the same thing. Senator wants the same thing. You look at the member of parliament, and all these monies, if all consolidated, say, given to HELB, it's additional revenue for HELB to be able to do exactly what everyone else is doing. Are these conversations that are being held to have a single unit that is doing this job, are good at it, and are able to disburse these funds in a faster manner so that we don't see Kenyans complaining that a certain batch has not been received? Are these conversations perhaps HELB is looking to having with all the stakeholders involved?
It's one of the proposals in the reforms that we have put in place so that we can have a single institution which all these funds can be able to come there so that they are distributed. However, we must realize that as we are doing that, you have to ensure the funder is recognized. Because if I give my money from a certain county, it does not just come to the pool without that recognition, because then no county will be able to give their money. What we will work on is a mechanism where we are able to identify and ensure that credibility is given to that county. So that if it's a presidential fund, the student knows out of the portion that I was given, a certain percentage came from the presidential fund, 10% came from my county, another 10% from the constituency, and then the remainder was given by HELB. But putting it together, we realize that may be a problem, because then that distribution, you are removing money from the county and bringing it here, which they will not accept. Yes.
In education has been used as political fodder for a very long time. That's why the bursaries, MPs will fight to have that and not let it go. The president will want that because of political expediency. But here we're talking about funding a Kenyan student whose rights have been enshrined in the constitution. So why not collapse all these funds and have HELB fund a Kenyan student? And not pegged to this county did this, the president did this, member of parliament did this. Why not just have all this money sent to HELB and fund every student who has the right to education?
That is the ideal situation. But remember that all these constituencies we have talked about, be it the county MP, also have funds sent to them. And they'll want that recognition. That is a reality on the ground. So as much as we'll want to just collapse, if you look at the NGCDF Act, it says 40% of that money can be given as bursaries. If you remove that 40%, then it becomes a problem. And just take it to fund one pot without that recognition. what we are saying is that the needs from these people, where they come from, have to be recognized. Because if you are saying 40%, there's a constituency that will say maybe it's only 20%. So how do you balance all those things? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just to hear, and, you know, folks, and I still see the questions coming in, but you've already given your assurance that, you know, whatever is on your platform, you can, or you can actually log in and see what's happening in terms of monies coming in. You've told us also from collections about 3 billion shillings is being waited for to send out to, you know,
we have
other
actually,
pending. It's already out?
We are already processing that, and
Okay.
I can assure them, as we get more money, we will be able to release the funds.
So is that how it works for you, just as you wrap this up, that it's rolling? As money comes in, it goes out. As
Yes.
it comes in, it goes out. So you're not holding on to it, waiting for something.
I can assure you that if today we receive 100 million, tomorrow we'll release it to the students.
Okay.
Yes, this is a conveyor belt. And that's why it is important for all of us to repay our loans.
Good note to end on. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. Jeffrey Munare is the CEO of the Higher Education Loans Board, has been here with us this morning. Comrades, he has told you not to worry. As money comes in, it's coming out. Sawa sawa.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here this morning.
Thank you so much. Good morning. 9 a.m.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Beyond the gleaming sky